Drama, 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 drama. We are back. How's it going, everybody? It's Lex, and today we are going to be checking out Huge Drama in the Smash Community by Ludwig. Let's get into it.
Anytime the gaming community talks about Super Smash Bros., it's for one of three reasons. Someone smells bad, someone's creepy, or something happened with Nintendo. And shocker, one of those things happened today. A huge bombshell was dropped on us by
Man, we used to go to this arcade back in the day, like a couple years ago. We would play what is the one on the Wii U? The one on the Wii U, man. We would play that in the arcade so much, just a big old crowd. And funny enough, none of us smelled. We would get off of work and we would just head straight there.
Nintendo that might mean the end of the Smash scene as we know it. Think I'm being dramatic? You might want to keep listening. So today, it was announced that the night before Thanksgiving,
without any warning, we received notice the night before Thanksgiving from Nintendo that we could no longer operate. Of course, Nintendo shutting down another Smash tournament.
Thanksgiving, Nintendo decided to cancel the Smash World Tour, the biggest Smash event of the year. Not just of the year, by the way.
Oh, it was a
but of
tour.
all time in terms of prize pool. $250,000 for Melee and $250,000 for Ultimate in prizing. That's a $500,000 tournament. It's huge. And that was supposed to happen in 2 weeks, the same weekend as my chess boxing event, which is December 11th. It's not about that, but just remember that fact. Anyway, it was canceled. Why was it canceled? Well, we'll get into that. It's a little more nefarious than you would think, but first we need to talk about
why was it canceled? Because Nintendo likes to be old school and likes to not make their scene competitive, and they want everybody to enjoy their family content.
the people who organized the Smash World Tour, VG Bootcamp. Now, you might know them because you've seen some of their events, or because you've seen Gimmer, who is famously bald, or because you've seen a video about 10 people getting really upset about the ice climbers, which I uploaded, and it's one of my most viewed videos, and I stole all the footage from VG Bootcamp, so thank you to them. I appreciate you guys paying a semester of my college tuition. But
Nice.
They had a great idea. Now, the way Smash events usually work is it's a grassroots event. Someone in their college or their region wants to make an event. So they do, and people come to that event. And maybe it grows. And so year after year, it turns from a regional to a national to a worldwide phenomenon. That's normally how events go. But it's all disconnected. It's thankless jobs, and nobody really makes that much money out the end of it. It's all from passion. VG Bootcamp.
These guys are really passionate about the game. There's like massive communities. I mean, look at Melee. It's still going after so many years. The community is definitely one of those loyal ones for sure.
Camp had an idea where we could run a connected circuit, a World Cup of sorts, where throughout the entire year, events will earn you points, and points will get you an invite to the final event, which is worth $250,000, and you can be the world champion of Melee or Ultimate. At least that's the idea on the surface. And it worked really well. It happened this entire past year. There was a ton of events that were part of it, including an event I streamed on my channel, Phantom, and many, many others.
Oh, that's really cool.
Again, in 2 weeks. That was the idea before it got canceled. Not a bad idea. Now, coincidentally, the month after the Smash World Tour was announced, there was another Circuit World Tour that was also announced, the Panda Cup. Now, this was created by
I did not hear about
Panda
that.
Global, who you guys might know as an esports team that is mainly rooted in Smash and fighting games as a whole. These are some of their players. These are some of their fighting game players. These are some of their influencers. And they got someone for chess.
Oh, that's really cool. A little website you go over. It's like a video game UI.
And that's Panda. Panda is run by Dr. Allen. This is going to be important because he has done some things that I find to be a bit nefarious. Now, Allen has been running Panda and also wanted this utopian idea of a connected event, a circuit that would include everybody and would create a grand champion at the end. Now, I would argue it's not a bad thing for a community to have 2 World Cups, World Tours, whatever you want to call them. It's just more Smash to watch, more Smash to enjoy.
More smashing. Let's all smash together.
Now, this event, again, was announced a little bit after the Smash World Tour, but it hasn't been canceled. It has no plans to be canceled. Why? Well, their event is officially licensed by Nintendo.
Oh,
now on the surface, you might just think to yourself, well, okay, Nintendo licensed this one, but didn't license this one. It's Nintendo back at it again. They just don't understand the community.
Oh, so they don't mind. They don't. Okay. The story
And they
dickens.
decided to go with one event, even though they should have gone with
Wow.
both. Now, it's not a shocker that Nintendo would cancel an event. It's happened many times in the past, usually to large public outcry that sometimes overturns their decision. But this is not as simple as let's just tweet out hashtag Save Smash and pray that somebody at Nintendo catches up on this and then reverses the decision. There's, again, things that are a little seedier at play here. So this event was submitted, the Smash World Tour, April 9th for review to be licensed by Nintendo. Because the way that running tournaments work is that the people who created the IP, the publisher, the developer, they own the rights to broadcasting that game. So it's happened in the past where maybe people stream God of War a bit too early in Australia and they get banned. Well, they can do that. They own the IP. They decide who gets to broadcast that. The same thing happens with tournaments. If they don't want you to run a tournament, they can say no. And the way it's worked for
That is a lot of control. That is a lot of control, man. Holy.
20 years is that we have kind of just run tournaments and done our own thing and got no help from Nintendo. And Nintendo makes games and movies with Chris Pratt and does their own thing. And we don't mix. We don't mix. You don't approve our tournaments. You don't deny our tournaments. We just do our thing. You do your thing. But recently, Nintendo has been getting into the habit of approving events, licensing events like the Panda Cup.
That's good.
Now, people were a little nervous about that because they thought, well, okay, maybe this is a bad thing because if they're licensing events, what will happen to the events that aren't licensed? Are those events going to suddenly get canceled? No, we thought back in the day.
Well. A little foresight.
When we were young and naive. But it turns out that the answer might just be yes. Any event that's not licensed by Nintendo.
It would be a crazy coincidence if that is not the reason why they canceled that world tour.
Get outright canceled. In the licensing process, according to this Medium post by the leaders of VG Bootcamp, the leaders of the Smash World Tour, seems nightmarish. Now, they had gotten in conversations with Nintendo as early as January of 2022 to approve their event for December that same year and for their entire Smash World Tour, their entire circuit. They sent the proposal on April 9th. Again, they did not hear back on that proposal until 7.5 months later, the night before Thanksgiving, right? And so what was happening in the meantime? Why were they taking so long to reply when they were able to so quickly approve the Panda Cup? Well, apparently what was happening is Alan, the CEO and co-founder of Panda, was going around to different tournaments that were meant to be a part of the circuit, different regional organizers, and saying, hey, just so you guys know, you guys are organizing an event and it's supposed to be part of the Smash World Tour. I would not personally do that because that event is going to get shut down and they're not going to.
Whoa. What? No way. Is that true? Does he have evidence for that? Was it mouth? Is it word of mouth? Because holy, then he must have already known that this was gonna happen. Wow.
Come back in 2022 at all, which is kind of a weird thing to do. But how would Alan have this information when the leaders of VG Bootcamp were literally talking to Nintendo execs directly, and those Nintendo directs or execs reminded them that Nintendo is not shutting down anything unless it infringes on IP with game mods, and that the Panda CEO does not represent Nintendo, and that Panda's license.
Well, it sure does not seem like that at the moment. So
it's
let's
not
keep
exclusive,
listening.
so we can have multiple circuits at once.
Sure.
And that Nintendo's goal is not to gatekeep or trap the community, and that the license guidelines would be accessible and clear. Who said that? To be very, very forthcoming. In almost in a shocking move, easy to work with. What a phrase. Nintendo, easy to work with. It was a surprise, but it was a huge confidence boost. So they decided to go ahead with their event, even though Alan was doing these kind of weird things. Now, the way it was meant to work is that, again, you would pull from these grassroots events, and those would grant points to people who went to them, and the more points you get.
What I want to know is, like, when didn't they shut down some sort of Splatoon tournament before? Like, so when did they change their mind, and when did they start allowing and being more accepted of the community, especially like Nintendo? Nintendo's well known to not be very, forthcoming with the community, So where was the shift change there? There wasn't no apparent thing that happened, or big event that happened that showed that they were going to be more supportive to that. Unless this is them being more supportive with the Panda tournament going on. I don't know.
The higher chance you have of getting invited to the final event at the end of the year. That's how both circuits work. Now, the Smash World Tour said, hey, any event can be considered a Smash World Tour circuit event, and you can earn points at it. We don't care if it's also a Panda Cup event. The Panda Cup originally was like, you know what? We want all of our events to be exclusive. We want to make sure that every event that's part of the Panda Cup is not a part of the Smash World
Here comes the shark trying to swallow all the small fish.
Tour. And so Alan, the CEO, was going around to event organizers and guaranteeing them that the Smash World Tour one is going to fail and that it would be a mistake not to go with the people licensed by Nintendo.
Yo, this guy is a snake. What a business. If this is true, whoa. I cannot believe that this man was going around. What a ruthless businessman.
Some implications there that if they weren't to go with Panda,
wow,
that maybe their event
planting
would even get shut.
Planting seeds everywhere, planting his little seeds so when his tree sprouts, oh my god.
Now, this didn't end up working because many events declined Panda because there's really a lot of community and trust that's built over decades. So people stayed with VG Bootcamp. So Panda had no choice but to double dip and change the rules. And they'd say, you know what? If it's part of the Smash World Tour, it can also be a part of ours. Okay.
Right.
Now, this all on the surface seems pretty fine. Okay. Maybe a little bit dog of Alan to go behind people's back like this.
Yeah, definitely.
But here's where it gets, in my opinion, fucking terrible.
Oh my god, here we go.
One of the largest streamers of Smash events is Beyond the Summit. These guys stream Smash Summit. They stream dozens and dozens of tournaments. And Panda saw that they had rights to stream those events. The CEO of Panda also wanted broadcasting rights as a part of the deal for events on the Panda Cup. So basically, not only will be on the Panda Cup, we also want to be able to broadcast it in some fashion. Beyond the Summit owns the broadcasting rights because they give the ad revenue back. They have a deal with the people who they work with. They end up giving them a better cut than if you were to stream it by yourself, as well as getting more viewership. And Beyond the Summit was like, well, hey, we're not going to give you the broadcast rights for free. So no, we're not just going to give you that. The CEO of Panda escalated things and made a variety of threats to Beyond the Summit, including threatening to shut down their entire Smash operation in 2023 if they did not join the Panda.
Yo, what is this guy? What is this company? Jesus, dude. This guy is ruthless. Ruthless. He's trying to monopolize the whole entire thing.
Beyond the Summit held firm. They said, fuck that shit. The CEO of Panda warned them that they would get Nintendo involved. My dad works at Nintendo, says Alan. He will seriously mess your shit up if you don't work with us. You have to be my friend.
This guy is trying to bully with his friend who's much bigger. Hey, I'm going to threaten you with my big friend over here if you don't do what I'm saying you should do. This company is definitely insane. Unless it was just him working kind of solely. But, I mean, there's so much for one guy to just do. It must have been multiple people. This is insane.
And Beyond the Summit holds strong. Now, I have full confidence that the words of Beyond the Summit are true because I've worked with this team to make projects like Mogul Money or even Juiced. And just today, one of the co-founders of BTS tweeted out, Alan spent several months running a protection racket, telling TOs, including Beyond the Summit, it'd be a shame if your event got shut down for being unlicensed. In an effort to scare them into signing on to the Cup. Not just signing on to the Cup, but signing on exclusively and also giving broadcast rights. Now, this was basically all shoved out of the way and quieted, and people were like, Alan, you're being nuts. Stop threatening that. None of this is actually going to happen. We care about our community, not just about making your event better. And that all seemed fine and dandy. Until, of course, they decided the night before Thanksgiving to cancel the Smash World Tour.
Jeez.
And the cancellation to me is crazy because there was radio silence between Nintendo and VG Bootcamp for months until they finally hit them up and said, hey, this is the end. You guys will not be sanctioned. As a last-ditch effort, I'm just going to read this here. They asked if they could continue to run the championship and the tour.
Whoa, wait a minute. Was Nintendo also being a part of what he was trying to propose to other other people on the tour, that would be insane. Is that why he was going over there and trying to mess everything up? Oh my.
Next year without a license and shift the focus to doing a professional thing in 2024. Because in the past, for the past 20 years, the way it's worked is, again, Nintendo stays in their own lane. We stay in our own lane. You don't approve events. You don't deny events, but we are able to coexist. And the person at Nintendo directly told them those times are over.
Oof.
There is no longer a way to run Smash events unless they are licensed by Nintendo directly. We are not talking about an event this time that has mods being used, like what happened with the Big House about a year ago.
So that correlates. That correlates kind of with their motto that's been going on. So all that stuff in the beginning was a PR statement by Nintendo or whoever was saying that about, oh, we care about the community, we care about them, enjoying themselves as long as it's not mod. Yeah, whatever. Behind the scenes, they were just waiting for you to turn around.
We're not talking about
and used the Panda guy as an
event that has anything nefarious attached to it. We are just talking about a plain old Smash event that got canceled, in part, it seems, because someone at Panda, a.k.a. Alan, was strong-arming a connection he had Nintendo to shut down any event that was not his own. It's almost like a video game villain who wants to tear down the world so he can rebuild it for his own, because he sees this utopia where we have this beautiful circuit, the Panda Cup, the final one true say where everyone will go to compete, and then at the end of the year have the true Super Bowl, and no one else can compete with him. But the way he's doing it is by shutting down everybody else along the way.
Shady.
Which to me is insane. Now, Alan has not yet replied and spoken out about this.
Yeah, why would he?
He's receiving a lot of trash on Twitter. Look, I always say this, but don't feel a need to join in on that. You can wait to see what Alan says first. All right, after we saw the Doom situation, it's never good to jump the gun on attacking people online.
But if it's true, what they've been saying about him, and there's multiple people saying who are also making sure that story is like, there's stories to cooperate with what's going on, like that is completely insane for him to be doing that. That just shows what ruthless businessman he is and what type of guy he is to try to bully and try to come into other people's business and try to mess it up and try to monopolize the entire thing. That's insane. I mean, power to him. Look at how much power he has with Nintendo backing him in a sense. If all this is true, look at what Nintendo just said. They say one thing but are showing a different result here.
But for the info and the receipts and the people who I trust who have spoken out so far, this is fucking huge news and devastating news for the Smash scene as a whole. What does it mean for me? Am I going to be able to run a Smash event in the future? Every single Smash event I have run has not been sanctioned by Nintendo. I have just run it. As a guy who has a lot of money because he got really successful in Lucky Streaming, I just sometimes say, I want to run Smash event now, and then do it. That's what I do. Am I going to no longer be able to do that because Alan wants his universe where everyone has to be sanctioned by Nintendo and part of the Panda Cup at the same time?
This guy has the Infinity Stones and just ready to like snap his finger. Unless he's already kind of making destructive waves. I mean, he has already, trying to plant seeds in people's heads, but it's not even a seed anymore. It's something that has grown and sprout and now has been affecting the entire community itself. This guy holds so much power in his hand, like it's insane. He could really mess up the entirety of the community if he wanted to. He's that big shark with a bunch of fish around him.
If that's the case, how am I supposed to achieve my dream of running the biggest Smash event?
A big shark with a Nintendo hat. Sorry, not a Nintendo hat. A Mario hat on him with the big ass M on him.
And ever. How am I supposed to even run another one of those invitationals again? I might be someone who's down to take the risk because the money lost, the tens of thousands in marketing or employees' times is something that I can bear to lose. But the tournament organizers, absolutely not. It's not a shocker, I assume, for you guys to hear that the people who are running the Smash events aren't exactly rich. In fact, the only way to get rich is to leave the Smash scene.
Well, I heard esports isn't necessarily... okay, I don't know too much information, but I heard it's like very expensive to run. You're kind of just going every single time, kind of paying out and not getting so much back. I don't know the exact amounts how much each video game makes, but that is something I heard from Charlie of Moist Critical on the Trash podcast not too long ago.
Always known.
From
And so
his
there's been a few
experience.
people who have spoken out on Twitter, a few of the best players in the world. I don't know about y'all, but if everything said about Panda is true, I'm done supporting them in any form. Unbelievable how many hundreds of people will be affected by this, most likely skipping Panda Cup. Fizzy tweeted out, our best resource as a community, in my opinion, is to boycott any Panda Cup event, and additionally, any event associated with Nintendo. And there was a little bit of a differing opinion from Leffen, whose opinion I trust when he's not talking about how much Jigglypuff likes to fly around. I think it's very important to prioritize making Nintendo change their minds on shutting down the Smash World Tour. And that's something I emphatically agree on. If there's one thing that needs to come out of this, sure, fine. Boycott Panda, right. Alan might be a piece, okay. But we need to be able to run events without the approval of Nintendo, or at least have an easier process to get approval from Nintendo. If you apply for approval in April and you don't hear back until November, that's a problem. That's a problem. I'll tell you what, my events usually are turned around in about 6 weeks, so it wouldn't even work 3 times, 4 times over. We definitely need Nintendo to at least let us stay in our lane. Let us do our thing. Let us create the events that the grassroots creators have been creating.
With what I want to understand is how did that relationship between Panda and Nintendo even happen, and how did they even say that this is like, oh, this is the people that we want to back? Like what happened behind the scenes in order for that to even happen? You know what I mean? Obviously, it seems like if this is true, what he's saying is that Nintendo always had it in their mind to kind of regain control of the whole entire all of these events. So they're the ones who are kind of sanctioning and making sure that they are going to be the biggest that they can be, and they're going to use Panda as well to kind of make that happen, and also be in the eyes of the people, letting the community choose what they're going to do. But it's like they're going about it in the worst way possible, and it's just insane. Like, you can't hide their shitty behavior for sure.
For 2 decades now, the Smashing that hasn't died since 2001. Anyway, that's where we end now. Look, it never hurts to tweet out about this, to get some trends going, to at least try to get in the ear of somebody at Nintendo. I don't know if it's true, but it was rumored that in 2013, when EVO, one of the largest fighting game tournaments of the year, announced that Melee would be a part of it, and Nintendo shut that down, the entire outpour of love from the Smash community and the outcry for bringing it back to the event was seen by the wife of one of the execs who work at Nintendo. I don't know if this is true, but it's a rumor. And that was enough to reverse the decision. So maybe that's enough right now.
For sure.
A loud enough voice that somebody at Nintendo with enough power hears to reverse a decision that, as far as I see, might spell the end of Smash if it's not through the all-powerful hands of Alan and Panda.
Yep.
And it's definitely worth noting that a lot of the people at Panda, in fact, most of the people you would know at Panda, are not at fault for this. You can't blame a player. You can't blame a social media guy, an intern, for what the actions of the CEO are. I blame the CEO and the CEO alone. Again, I await to see what he says about it, but as of now, this is fucked, and I hope we're able to save Smash. That's all, boys. Huge.
I hope so too, man. That's completely insane that this entirety, just all this is kind of unraveling right now, and I hope that everybody comes as a community and gets together and tries to kind of regain control, regain some balance, and try to make sure it's just being fair, and most importantly, people are having fun. Isn't that the whole point of it? Isn't that kind of one of the core bases of Nintendo, is making sure that the community, the gamers, the players, the people they sell products to are enjoying a product, and this is them enjoying a product. But this is not a good way for them to be representing themselves. And also, this guy who's just trying to swallow everything is insane, man. That is an insane thing. But if you enjoy this video, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you smash that sub button. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a good one, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.